What if the greatest prize you could ever win was also the one thing guaranteed to destroy you? Imagine a competition so glorious it draws the eyes of the entire world, promising eternal fame and a fortune beyond your wildest dreams. But buried beneath the spectacle, beneath the cheering crowds and the glittering trophies, lies a dark and patient design. A trap set not to test a champion, but to capture a pawn. Today, we delve into the book that marks the end of childhood and the true beginning of the war. This is not just a story about a magical tournament. It is the story of the day the games ended. This is J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we believe that some books are not just stories, they are experiences that shape who we are. Our goal is to guide you to those life-changing reads. And today, we are talking about a book that stands as a monumental turning point in one of the most beloved sagas of all time. The core problem at the heart of Goblet of Fire is a terrifying and deeply human one, the violent end of Innocence. For 3 years, Harry Potter, and we the readers, have lived in a world where danger was real, but ultimately contained. The evils were school-level threats, monsters in the basement, a rogue teacher, a wrongfully accused prisoner. There was always a sense of safety, a belief that at the end of the day, the walls of Hogwarts and the wisdom of Albus Dumbledore could hold the darkness at bay. Goblet of Fire systematically dismantles that belief. It confronts Harry with a world that is suddenly much larger, much more complex, and infinitely more dangerous than he ever imagined. The central question of the book is no longer just how will Harry survive this year's adventure, but how does a child navigate a world where the adults are in denial, the institutions are failing, and a forgotten evil is quietly, patiently planning its return. This is where J.K. Rowling's 4th installment makes its grand promise. It promises to take you on a breathtaking, exhilarating, and ultimately heartbreaking journey. It promises a mystery box wrapped in a thriller. Through the spectacle of the Triwizard Tournament, a legendary and perilous competition between 3 ancient magical schools, Rowling invites us to experience a world bursting with new magic, new cultures, and new characters. But she also promises that this spectacle is a mask. The book's true promise is to peel back that mask and reveal the horrifying face of evil emerging into the world, not as a memory or a phantom, but as a resurrected, corporeal force. Reading Goblet of Fire is to stand with Harry at the precipice, to feel the joy and the angst of being 14, and then to be pushed, headfirst, into the cold, hard realities of war, sacrifice, and loss. This book doesn't just advance the plot, it deepens the very soul of the story, and it will change the way you see the wizarding world forever. Our story begins not at Hogwarts, but at a place of pure, unadulterated magical spectacle, the Quidditch World Cup. Imagine the Super Bowl, the Olympics, and Mardi Gras all rolled into one, but with wizards. Rowling paints a vivid picture of a temporary city of tents, a bustling, chaotic, and joyous gathering of the international wizarding community. We see wizards from America, from Africa, from all corners of the globe, each with their own unique flair. There are extravagant tents that look like miniature palaces, complete with live peacocks. There are merchants hawking magical souvenirs, luminous rosettes that scream the names of players, miniature flying firebolts, and incredible omnioculars that can replay the action in slow motion. For Harry and for us, this is a moment of pure wonder. It's a glimpse of the vast, vibrant world that exists beyond the borders of Britain. He is, for a brief moment, just a teenager enjoying a sporting event with his best friend's family. The match itself, Ireland versus Bulgaria, is a masterclass in world building, a thrilling display of high-speed, high-stakes magical sport, complete with team mascots. The bewitching, beautiful villa for Bulgaria and the gold-shedding, mischievous leprechauns for Ireland. It's a celebration of everything magical and joyful. But this celebration is violently shattered. After the match, a new kind of spectacle erupts. A crowd of wizards, their faces hidden by masks and hoods, march through the campsite, levitating the Muggle campsite manager and his family high into the air, tossing them about like puppets for their own cruel amusement. The air is filled with screams not of joy, but of terror. And then, for the first time in 13 years, a horrifying symbol is blasted into the night sky, a colossal, glittering green skull, with a serpent protruding from its mouth like a tongue. This is the Dark Mark, the symbol of Lord Voldemort. The panic is immediate and absolute. This is not a game. This is the calling card of the Death Eaters, Voldemort's most feared followers. The joy of the World Cup evaporates, replaced by a cold, creeping dread. It's the first tremor of an earthquake, a sign that the long peace is over, that the past is not as dead as everyone had hoped. This event sets the tone for the entire book, a thrilling surface of excitement and competition, with a terrifying undercurrent of rising darkness that most of the wizarding world is desperately trying to ignore. When Harry returns to Hogwarts, the atmosphere is electric. Albus Dumbledore announces that the school will be hosting the legendary Triwizard Tournament. He explains its history, a friendly competition between the three largest European schools of wizardry, Hogwarts, Beaux-Batons from France, and Durmstrang from an unknown location in the north. A champion is selected from each school to compete in 3 magical tasks. The prize? 1,000 galleons and eternal glory. The entire school is buzzing with excitement. We meet the visiting students, the elegant, sophisticated students of Beaux-Batons, led by their towering headmistress Madame Maxime, and the grim, imposing students of Durmstrang, led by the stern, cold-eyed Iger Karkaroff. The selection of the champions is a grand affair. The Goblet of Fire, an ancient and powerful magical artifact, acts as the impartial judge. Any student who wishes to compete must simply write their name on a piece of parchment and drop it into the goblet's blue-white flames. There is, however, a new rule, a crucial safety measure. An age line is drawn around the goblet, preventing anyone under the age of 17 from entering. For Harry, this is a relief. For the first time, he is not the center of attention. He can be a normal student, watch from the sidelines, and cheer on the Hogwarts champion. On Halloween night, the entire school gathers to witness the selection. The Great Hall is filled with tension and anticipation. The Goblet of Fire spits out the first name. The champion for Durmstrang is the world-famous Quidditch seeker, Victor Krum. Next, the champion for Beaux-Batons is the beautiful Vila Fleur Delacour. And finally, the Hogwarts champion is the handsome, popular, and noble Hufflepuff, Cedric Diggory. The school erupts in cheers. The 3 champions are chosen. But then, something impossible happens. The fire in the goblet turns red once more. It spits out a 4th piece of parchment. Dumbledore catches it, his face a mask of confusion. He reads the name aloud, his voice echoing in the stunned silence. Harry Potter. This is the moment the story truly ignites. Harry is thrust, against his will, into a deadly tournament for which he is underage, unprepared, and entirely outmatched. He insists he didn't put his name in, but very few people believe him. The school that once hailed him as a hero now sees him as a cheat, a glory hound who broke the rules to steal the spotlight from the rightful champion, Cedric. This twist introduces the central conflict of Harry's 4th year: profound isolation. His most painful wound comes not from a magical beast, but from his best friend. Ron, consumed by a simmering jealousy he can no longer contain, feels that this is one time too many that Harry has ended up in the spotlight. He doesn't believe Harry, and their friendship fractures, leaving Harry to face the storm almost entirely alone. He is an unwilling hero, burdened by a fame he never asked for, now forced to compete in a tournament that could very well kill him. The first task is designed to test the champion's daring. They must face a dragon. Not just any dragon, but a nesting mother, one of the most ferocious creatures in the wizarding world. Each champion must retrieve a golden egg from her clutch. Harry is assigned the most dangerous of them all, the Hungarian Horntail, a terrifying, black-scaled beast with bronze spikes and a jet of fire that can reach 50 feet. He is outmatched in age, experience, and magical knowledge by his 3 competitors. His isolation is almost total. But in this darkness, we see the first flicker of Harry's true character. He finds out about the dragons beforehand, a secret he isn't supposed to know. His first thought is not for himself, but for the other champion who is still in the dark, Cedric. In a simple act of fairness, Harry warns Cedric, telling him what he's about to face. It's a small moment, but it's a crucial one. It shows that Harry's heroism is not about glory, but about decency. Facing the Horntail, Harry knows he cannot overpower it, so he relies on his one, true, unique talent: flying. Using a simple summoning charm, a spell he and Hermione practice for hours, he calls his firebolt broomstick to him. The moment he is in the air, everything changes. The fear melts away. This is his domain. The ensuing battle is a spectacular aerial ballet, a thrilling display of skill and courage. Harry isn't just a boy with a wand. He is an artist on a broomstick, goading the dragon, diving and swerving, using his speed and agility to outmaneuver the brute force of the beast. He successfully retrieves the golden egg, his triumph earning him back the respect of many of his classmates, and most importantly, his best friend. Ron, having seen what Harry had to face, finally understands the truth and apologizes. Their reunion is a powerful, heartfelt moment, a reminder that the bonds of friendship are the most powerful magic of all. With the first task behind him, the story enters a new phase. The golden egg contains a clue to the second task, but when opened on land, it emits only a deafening, incomprehensible screech. The mystery of the egg runs parallel to the deepening mysteries within the castle walls. This interlude is a masterful blend of teenage drama and slow, burning suspense. The announcement of the Yule Ball, a traditional part of the tournament, throws the student body into a frenzy of adolescent angst. We see Harry and Ron, two heroes who can face down dragons, utterly terrified at the prospect of asking a girl to the dance. It's a wonderfully humanizing section. Ron's jealousy flares again, this time directed at Hermione, who attends the ball with the dashing Victor Crumb, leading to an explosive and emotionally raw argument that reveals the deep, unspoken feelings between them. Harry, meanwhile, works up the courage to ask his crush, the beautiful Cho Chang, only to find she is already going with Cedric Diggory. It's a moment of pure, relatable teenage heartbreak, but beneath the surface of school dances and crushes, the darkness is gathering. Mr. Crouch, the rigid ministry official, has been behaving erratically, sending instructions by all and failing to appear at his duties. Sirius, hiding in the shadows and communicating with Harry through the fire, warns him that something is deeply wrong. He reveals that Karkaroff, the headmaster of Durmstrang, is a former Death Eater who bought his freedom by naming names. He also reveals a shocking piece of history. Mr. Crouch's own son was convicted as a Death Eater and died in Azkaban. The plot thickens. Snape is seen in clandestine meetings with Karkaroff. Mr. Crouch himself appears on the Hogwarts grounds, looking mad and disheveled, babbling about his son and a warning for Dumbledore, before disappearing without a trace. The tournament, it is becoming clear, is not what it seems. It is a stage, and on it, unseen hands are moving the pieces for a much deadlier game. Harry finally solves the clue of the egg, with a crucial tip from Cedric, who is repaying him for the warning about the dragons. He takes the egg into the prefect's bathroom, and, opening it underwater, hears the screech transform into a haunting song from the merpeople who live in the Great Lake. The song is a riddle: "Come seek us where our voices sound. We've taken what you'll sorely miss. An hour long you'll have to look, and to recover what we took." The second task is clear. The champions must venture into the depths of the lake to rescue something precious that has been taken from them. The task itself is another masterpiece of magical world building. Using gillyweed, a magical plant that gives him gills and webbed hands, Harry plunges into the eerie, silent, underwater world. Rowling paints a haunting picture of a mysterious landscape of tangled weeds, strange creatures, and the crude, stony village of the merpeople. At the heart of the village, he finds the four hostages: Ron, Hermione, Cho Chang, and Fleur Delacour's little sister, Gabrielle. They are in a bewitched sleep, tied to a merperson statue. Cedric arrives first and rescues Cho. Crumb, in a state of partial, gruesome transfiguration into a shark, rescues Hermione. Fleur, however, is attacked by Grindylows and never arrives. This is where Harry faces his most important test yet. His task is only to rescue Ron, but he cannot bring himself to leave the other two hostages behind, especially the little girl Gabrielle. He is convinced, by the ominous tone of the song, that they will die if not rescued. The merpeople refuse to let him take them, insisting he is only allowed his own hostage. In a defining moment of moral courage, Harry defies the rules. He refuses to leave the innocent behind, even if it means failing the task. He fights off the merman and struggles to bring both Ron and Gabrielle to the surface, running out of time and almost drowning in the process. He emerges last, well outside the hour time limit, but Dumbledore, after conferring with the chief merperson, explains that Harry was the first to reach the hostages and that his delay was due to his determination to save them all. For this display of moral fiber, he is awarded second place. It's a profound lesson. True victory is not about coming in first, it's about choosing to do what is right, especially when it is hard. The final task is a maze. A vast, 20-foot, high hedge maze built on the Quidditch pitch, filled with dangerous magical creatures and enchanted obstacles. The Triwizard Cup sits at its center. The first to reach it wins. As the champions in the lead, Harry and Cedric enter first. The atmosphere is thick with dread. The maze is a dark, twisting labyrinth where reality itself seems to warp. Harry encounters a ended Scroot, a monstrous scorpion-like creature, and a boggart that takes the form of a Dementor. But the most sinister event happens deep within the maze. Harry hears Cedric cry out in pain. He finds him on the ground, writhing under the Cruciatus Curse, an unforgivable curse of torture. The attacker is Victor Crumb, his eyes blank, clearly under the influence of the Imperious Curse. Harry stuns Crumb, saving Cedric. This act cements a bond between them. They are no longer just rivals. They are allies. They proceed together, helping each other navigate the final obstacles. They arrive at the center of the maze at the same time. The Triwizard Cup gleams before them on a plinth. After a moment of debate, they make a decision that embodies the entire spirit of the tournament. They decide to take the cup together. As Hogwarts champions, they will share the victory. It is a moment of pure sportsmanship, friendship, and unity. They reach out, and together, their hands close around the handle of the cup. Instantly, Harry feels a jerk behind his navel. This is not just a trophy, it's a portkey. He and Cedric are violently pulled away from the maze, spinning through a vortex of wind and color. They slam into the ground, not in front of the cheering crowds of Hogwarts, but in a dark, overgrown, and chillingly silent graveyard. This is the trap. A short, cloaked figure approaches, carrying a bundle of robes. From within the bundle, a high, cold, and terrifyingly familiar voice speaks. Kill the spare. There is a swish of a wand, a flash of green light, and Cedric Diggory, the noble champion of Hogwarts, falls to the ground dead. In that one brutal moment, the story changes forever. The games are over. Harry is bound to a tombstone. The tombstone of Tom Riddle, Voldemort's father. He is forced to watch a horrifying ritual of ancient, dark magic. The short figure, revealed to be the traitor Wormtail, resurrects Lord Voldemort. From a giant cauldron, he combines 3 ingredients: bone of the father, unknowingly given, flesh of the servant, willingly sacrificed, as Wormtail severs his own hand, and blood of the enemy, forcibly taken, as Wormtail cuts Harry's arm and adds his blood to the potion. From the cauldron rises the fully restored, terrifying form of Lord Voldemort. What follows is not a duel of champions, but a horrifying display of raw power and cruelty. Voldemort summons his Death Eaters, taunting them for their disloyalty in his absence. Then, he turns to Harry. He forces Harry to duel him, to bow to death. But something extraordinary happens when their wands meet. A rare magical phenomenon called priori incantatum occurs, because both Harry's and Voldemort's wands share a core from the same phoenix. A beam of golden light connects them, and from Voldemort's wand, the echoes, the ghostly shadows of his most recent victims emerge: Cedric, an old Muggle man, Bertha Jorkins, and finally, Harry's own mother and father. These echoes provide a crucial distraction, a shield that allows Harry, in a desperate, second act of courage, to break the connection, grab Cedric's body, and summon the Porky Cup to escape. He returns to Hogwarts, not as a triumphant champion, but as a traumatized witness, clutching the body of his fallen friend, bringing with him the horrifying news: Lord Voldemort has returned. So, what makes Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire an absolutely essential must-read book? It is, without a doubt, the single most important pivot in the entire 7-book saga. This is the book that takes the magic and wonder of the wizarding world and smashes it against the hard, cold reality of true evil. It is radically different from the 3 books that precede it. The tone shifts from children's adventure to a darker, more mature political thriller and war story. Rowling masterfully expands her world, introducing us to the wider international magical community, but she does so only to show us that the problems of prejudice, corruption, and the denial of truth are universal. The Ministry of Magic is portrayed not as a bastion of order, but as a flawed, bureaucratic institution more concerned with appearances than with justice. This book is a stunning exploration of how fear and the desire for comfort can lead good people to deny the most obvious and dangerous of truths. This book is for every reader who has ever felt like they were standing on the edge of a great change, the moment childhood gives way to the complex and often frightening responsibilities of the adult world. It's for the reader who is ready for the story to grow up. If you love intricate, layered mysteries where every detail matters, if you appreciate stories that tackle the difficult themes of friendship, jealousy, loyalty, and the nature of true courage, then this book is for you. It asks a profound question. What do you do when the world you thought you knew is revealed to be a lie? This book is not for the faint of heart. It is not for someone looking to remain in the cozy, whimsical world of the earlier installments. The death of Cedric Diggory is not just a plot point, it's a statement. It's Rowling telling the reader that the safety nets are gone. The stakes are now, and forever will be, life and death. If you are not prepared for a story that will break your heart and leave you with a profound sense of unease, then perhaps you are not ready for Goblet of Fire. The single most valuable takeaway is Dumbledore's profound wisdom delivered at the end. Remember, if the time should come when you have to make a choice between what is right and what is easy, remember what happened to a boy who was good and kind and brave because he strayed across the path of Lord Voldemort. That single idea is the moral compass for the rest of the series. We have walked you through the spectacle of the tournament and to the edge of the graveyard, but this summary is merely the map. Reading the book is the journey itself. To truly understand the chill of the dark mark in the night sky, to feel the teenage awkwardness of the Yule Ball, to witness the heartbreaking bravery of Cedric Diggory, and to stand with Harry in that terrifying moment of Voldemort's return, you must experience Rowling's words firsthand. This is the book where the legend of Harry Potter is forged not in victory, but in survival and testimony. It is an unforgettable, unmissable, and absolutely essential chapter in the story of the boy who lived. So, if you are ready to take that step into a larger, darker world, the link to purchase Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire is in the description below. Don't just hear about the end of Innocence. Read it for yourself. And as always, if you value these deep dives, be sure to like, subscribe, and join us on the next journey.